So first thing we're doing is I'm taking and uh, starting a new sketch. Sorry, I was started this video and then got interrupted by a announcement. So I have a new sketch, and I'm also going to turn off my board so that way it should stop blinking at me. Now we're going to set up a couple of definitions. The problem is these digital I/O pins right here um, are oddly labeled. So you have A, D, which are analog input, D3, D4, D8, D9, 10, 3.3, ground, and 5 volt. 3.3, 5, and ground volt in AD all have reasonable pin numbers, but all the other ones are very weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a header of pound defines, and what those do is basically are like variables, except they just copy and paste the strings. So the first thing we're going to do is do our digital. We're going to do the LEDs. So we're going to do pound define green. And typically these are all caps, LED, and that's going to be 16, just like we used for our blink and the blink function. We're also going to do define blue LED, and that's the same blue LED that we used when we did before, but you might as well do this. And I'm also going to tab these so that they line up. Pleasure. Next thing we're going to do is our little joystick. Now, left is always just going to reboot the device. There's nothing we can do about that. But the other ones are going to do, we can access. So we have up, so pound define up, and that's going to be 13. Pound define down, it's going to be 12. Pound define right, that's going to be 0. And pound define push. Now let's call it select, is going to be 14. Of course, now I'm going to have to go back and add some more tabs. There we go. And finally, let's do digital I/O. So pound define 83 is 0. Pound define 84 is 2. And spelling counts. Pound define 8. That is 15. Pound define D9 is 3. And smart, I would copy and paste these, but at this point I won't run. Pound define D10 is 1. So let's take and do some work with the getting the buttons to respond. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take and create an input just like we've done before. So pin mode, and let's use the select. Input. And pin mode, let's use the green LED. Green LED. Oh, and we're simply going to test. Now, I've not sampled this one, so it's possible I'm going to screw this up, but it's actually kind of good for you to see that because, again, show you how to learn. But we're going to say if select if digital read of select equal high, then we're going to green digital right green LED high. Else the control key is in the wrong spot. They have function where control should be low, and then we should put a delay in there of, I don't know, 10 microseconds, just to give us a chance to talk to it again. So I'm going to turn on the device. I'm now going to upload the code. I'm going to save it. I'm going to call this basic ESP basic button LED. Let's hit save. And compilation is going to be not too bad. Oh, and spelling counts. So I'm going to hit upload again. Oh, semicolons. Now again, that's how this works when we do demos. I'll probably have less mistakes as I do more complicated things, as I copy more for myself, because this code is fairly complex when we get to the full web services based version. But little steps along the way to get practice for how things work. Okay, so now it's uploading. All right, so now if I push the button, it goes on and it doesn't reset. So we're gonna have to do a little bit more checking, but it does read the thing. If I take and pull to the left, that will read with the board. If I press the button and turn on, I will do some research to figure out how to turn the light off. But we have access to the buttons, we have access to the LEDs. I'm not sure why it's not going down. Let's take and make it so that if you hit select as high there, and let's do a second statement. We'll change this from, let's do up, down. And so if up is high, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do if digital read of down high low. If this doesn't do what I want to do, I will pause and then go do some further research. Again, I'm still learning this board too. So let's compile. So compiling. And it's writing. And written. Now it's rebooting. We'll know we've fully rebooted when the light goes out. I'll reboot the device. Okay, so they're constantly going high. I have to go look and see about the pin setups. So in the next video, I will revise this program. But